Morning, everybody. How are you doing? How was your weekend? Mine was too short. That one I can tell you for free. I think weekends should have like 4 days and 36 hours. Yeah. Yeah.
4 days and 36 hours. Tega, you sound like Oliver Twist.
I just that weekends should be longer. But it was a good weekend. On Friday, while some things were happening in other people's camp, some people were fighting bonus, some people didn't know when they were going to fly. When all of that were going on, Zambia beat Germany in a friendly match. It
The same
wasn't
Zambia from Africa?
the same Zambia from Africa with
Wait,
Baba
the German machines?
yeah,
German?
with Baba Branda no, Barbara Banda as their captain. She scored a brace. They didn't just cross over the line, they beat Germany 3-2. So that they considered goals, but they scored. It was a good win. It was a confident, solid win. You have to understand, Germany are one of the toughest teams in women's football. They played the finals last year in the Euros against England, I think. And then, if you're counting some of the favorites to win this World Cup, Germany is among them. They're the only team that their national team, both male and female, have won the World Cup.
Brilliant.
So, very, very good side. So for Zambia like I said, they didn't just cross over the line; they beat them.
How did we do that at the same time?
So that was a good one that happened over the weekend. Also over the weekend, one of the PGA Tour board members resigned. He said by the time they're supposed to look at the deal, the agreement between LIV and the PGA, he said by the time they finish looking at it very well, that he's not sure that he can continue working with the board. So
Wow.
I just want another independent body. Look, FBI, what are you doing? You like to put nose in people's business. Why don't you put nose in this one? I want to see what that agreement really is about. The way the PGA shockingly overnight sold out their souls.
Wow.
I don't mind if you sell your soul for money, but I mind if you've been proving moral integrity and then you sell your soul. Then there's a problem. The money must have been too much, or maybe they kidnapped the children, but something must have really happened. So we will find out about what's happening on the PGA Tour. But before we do all that, Zibby, tell us, how can we be a part of this locker room? And this time, I'm waiting for your messages, especially when we get to Manchester United.
It's pretty easy. WhatsApp number 0809 4440981. You can tweet at Smooth981 or catch the live stream on YouTube. Let me blow a kiss to YouTube.
And see my footballer hair. I had to do Bababanda for you.
Rapping the Zambian. Well, you can also catch the live stream up on our YouTube channel. Just search for Smooth981. You can catch the live stream and post a comment on there. Let's look at the headlines.
All right.
Iga Swiatek. Tega's trying to teach me how to pronounce that name correctly.
Iga Swiatek.
Iga Swiatek. I will never get it.
You will.
Beats Belinda Bencic. These Eastern European names. Alina Svitolina wins against Victoria Azarenka. British Grand Prix 2023. Lando Norris shows McLaren progress, but work still to do. No plans to boycott opening March Super Falcons captain AB. Mbappe calls PSG a divisive team as contract standoff drags on. King Mbappe of the Cameroons. De Gea leaves Manchester United after contract expires. England crowned under 21 European champions with win against Spain. Pochettino to help Chelsea trio with personalised method after last season's struggle. And former Manchester United and Ajax goalkeeper Edwin van der Sar remains in intensive care.
Yeah, really sad one. That was news that also streamed over the weekend, with the bleed on the brain. Really tough one. When I saw it, I was just like, And again, he was on vacation, I think, in Croatia with his family. So it happened on vacation with family. Normally you say, people work too hard. People do. He wasn't doing anything. So tough one. We'll see how he pulls through it. They said he's stable, but he's still in a serious condition. I don't like all that stable but in serious condition. I don't know what it really means in English. Wow. Is it stable or not?
Well, stable in serious condition means he is responding. So that's good news usually.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's get to it, and we'll start off with the first story The lady with a name that is not too easy to pronounce, Iga Swiatek, scored 2 match points, and Elina Svitolina beat Victoria Azarenka in a thriller as two women's classics lit up the Wimbledon fourth round.
I'm telling you, oh my goodness. When I saw these draws, I was just like, these ones are going to be late. First of all, Iga Swiatek and Belinda Bencic, their history was different in the sense that Iga Swiatek, she's world number one, and I think she had that last year where she had a run of 37 matches unbeaten, and then someone broke it at Wimbledon. She plays well, but she struggles a little bit on grass, and it's because of the bounce of the ball. But Belinda Bencic is one of those brilliant tennis players. You know, she came under the tutorship of Martina Hingis, Roger Federer, because she used to play mixed doubles with Roger Federer at some point. And you know, by herself, she's so talented. She has variety, and everybody thought this girl was going to explode on the scene and she was going to be the next big thing. But she's 26 and that hasn't happened. But every once in a while, you see those glimpses of brilliance, especially on grass. So coming into this particular match, it was Iga Swiatek, who is still learning how to play on the grass surface, against a Belinda Bencic, who is very talented and can play well on grass, but hasn't really lived up to expectations. So it was going to always be a fight. Unfortunately for us viewers, me, I was watching that thing. I was watching on TV and I was watching on my phone. That I had to watch two screens. You can't split it. Unfortunately for most Wimbledon viewers, that match happened at the same time that Elena Svitolina of Ukraine was playing against Victoria Azarenka of Belarus. I don't need to say much more on the political implication of that. But also, both of them are moms. Svitolina just came back. I think she started playing again. It carried up a racket again this year in January because she had a baby last year. But nobody really thought she was going to get back in sync as quickly as she's gotten back in sync. So it was always going to be a tough one. And yes, on that side, they are both screamers. So the energy from that side was amazing. From Svitolina Azarenka was amazing. Then the poise, even if you could see the storm on the Bencic and Swiatek side, was really astonishing, because you could see that both of them were struggling to outthink the other person, but they were doing it with poise. I'm just like, what's wrong with you people? Shout a little, cry a little, just do something. But they were so calm and gracious in the way they moved around. So it was a tough three setup both ways. And at some point, I kid you not, it looked like Swiatek was going to go out. She played a brilliant first set. Unfortunately, she had 6 break points in the first set against Bencic. She didn't take any of them. They get into the tie break. She has a horror show of a tie break, and Bencic wins the first set. Then the second set, her first service percentage drops. She's struggling with trying to hit the ball into the court, because Bencic is having so much position and so much court coverage, and she understands the bounce. So Swiatek has to play a little harder, which meant she was hitting the ball a little harder, and which meant she was hitting over the line. So she couldn't just get her rhythm very well. She struggled a lot. At some point, she was 2 match points down, and everybody was like, oh well, we always knew she was going to struggle on grass, and we always knew that this was going to be a tough test. Goodbye and God bless. This girl played a horrible match, but managed to fight back and win the second set, and then went on to take the third set. If anything can prove that somebody has championship mettle, it should be that match that proved it for Iga Swiatek. On the other side with Svitolina, at some point Azarenka was leading. She had won the first set and she was leading the second set by 2 games to love. And then Svitolina was just like, I can't go home like this now. How can they be beating my country at home and beating your court? It's not right. She found a fight. It was the way that both of them got at it. It was a massive one. So both matchups really did great one on the circuit. But this time, today is going to be about the men. Last night, Djokovic was playing against Hubert Hurkacz, a Pole himself. Both first and second sets went all the way to tiebreakers, and Hurkacz made mistakes. Djokovic, as usual, didn't make mistakes, so he won the first 2 sets. So I think they'll come out today and try to complete their match and maybe play a third set, and that'll be that. But the match everybody will be looking forward to is Matteo Berrettini, who knocked out Alexander Zverev in straight sets. despite the fact he's played only 17 matches this year and he's just coming from an injury. He's going to be facing Carlos Alcaraz, who is world number one, who is supposed to be the next best thing in tennis, but also struggles massively on grass. So that will be an interesting one to see. Alcaraz against Berrettini. So yesterday the women entertained us. Today, I think most of the entertainment will come for the men's side.
All right. 0809 440 981. On to Formula One. Lando Norris first fell in love with Formula One watching Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso battling at the front in silver McLarens at Silverstone way back in 2007. Now on Sunday, he found himself in the same position on the very same track and says he felt very proud.
I'm telling you, he had to be proud of himself. So, Silverstone lived up to the bidding. First of all, it started from qualifying. And throughout qualifying, Q1, Q2, the McLarens were at the front part of the grid, and people were just like, perhaps Mercedes and Red Bull and Ferrari, they are sandbagging. There must be something that's making Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri just be at the top of the grid, but it was not. The fact was they had upgrades this weekend, and those upgrades came into play. It was an aerodynamic circuit, and the upgrades really worked fantastically well. So come Q3, Lando Norris was able to qualify in second position. In fact, he had provisional pole until, of course, Max Verstappen, as usual, came with his rocket. And took the pole, and snatched the pole from him. So it was Max Verstappen in pole position in the first position, and then Lando Norris in second, and Oscar Piastri, "They Steal My Heart," was in third. Now, so Sunday it was going to be very interesting. Now the McLarens knew that yes, they had enough pace for a one lap race to get to the front of the grid, but race pace is a completely different thing. Now you are driving over numerous laps, and it's completely different. Strategy will come into play, tire degradation will come into play, and if the rain fell, because we are driving in Silverstone, then that will also come into play. So safety cars will also come into play, and they did. And so it's a completely different kettle of fish. So McLaren knew in the race yesterday that their race was not really against Max Verstappen of Red Bull. It was really against the Ferraris of Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz were behind them, and the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton and George Russell that was also behind them. So really tough one for them to start. And then the race started. Lando Norris shockingly got off better than Max Verstappen, and he led the race for at least 5 laps before Max Verstappen said, "All right, I've had enough of you. Let me overtake you now with my space rocket," and he overtook him. But the way that Norris and Oscar Piastri held their own for a while was really brilliant, because they did fight off the Ferraris, they did fight off the Mercedes, especially the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton, if you're talking about Lando Norris in the final minutes, because the safety car comes out, and Lewis Hamilton takes advantage of the safety car to make his own pit stop. Meanwhile, Oscar Piastri had made his own pit stop earlier, which means he spent longer in the pit lane. And then Lewis Hamilton comes out ahead of Oscar Piastri, so he's now third. But he's on faster tires, so he's on soft tires. Lando Norris is on hard new tires, and those ones take time to warm up. And so in that time, Lewis Hamilton was hunting Lando Norris down like an evil spirit, hunting him down so much that I think he almost overtook him once, but Lando Norris just had better grip, and he was able to hold his own, and eventually was able to fend off the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton. So it was a brilliant battle if you're watching, and it was a brilliant battle if you're a driver that came out tops. So it was a great weekend for Lando Norris. It was so great. Lando Norris was showing off he came second though, but we've seen more pictures of his second place trophy than we've seen of Max Verstappen and of Lewis Hamilton's 8 championships. Sorry, 7. We know it should have been 8, but 7 championships. But pictures everywhere. Even Lewis Hamilton had to post Lando Norris like, "You deserve this one. This one was a good drive." But it was a brilliant run for McLaren. Can they do it next week? I'm not sure. But every once in a while, I like to see other constructors just come in the mix.
All right, you're still in the locker room on Smooth 98.1. Stay with us. The show continues.
This is the something, Michelle Papa the something. I don't know that song at all.
Wait, that's Bruno Mars. Uptown Funk. Okay.
It's short people that sang the song now. That's why we can't know it. It's so hot damn. And some, so hot damn money.
Don't believe me, that's why. Don't believe me, just why. Hey. Stop.
Wait a minute.
Every time I see Bruno Mars, he reminds me of Michael Jackson, and I'm so happy when I see him, like a young Michael Jackson.
He's a great entertainer. He's just like, I mean, but the guy doesn't even send anybody. He just takes his time.
Taking his time and doing his coke.
You can't put him under pressure. Say, you haven't delivered music in 2 years. How's your business?
Crazy stuff. Oh.
When I'm broke, I'll sing again.
That's true. It's like he sings for fun.
You know, when I every time I sing, I remember that lazy song.
Oh. That's why I want to do most days.
That's why I want to make money. I work hard so I can afford to be lazy.
I know. Oh wow.
Hey, I always forget to do something.
What's that?
I'm going to do it now.
Look up in the club.
Okay, so when we come back, we'll come back with this dangerous question.
Okay, alright.
My name is 04.
Okay.
You're listening to Smooth 98.1.
Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. You are in the locker room with Tega and Zibby, and it's all about sport. Let us know what your thoughts are. 0809 444 981. We're also streaming live on YouTube. Just search for Smooth 981. And you can also tweet at Smooth 981. Let's go on to the messages. Benga says, does Mercedes not need deliverance, Bayi? What did they do before that made them successful? They should go back to it.
Well, so you know how it is. Once they change the new engine rules, it always happens. It's not today. It always happens that one constructor will get it better than the other people. So that's why there's always been years of dominance for certain constructors at certain times. So that period worked for them. I think the problem that the thing that was wrong with Mercedes was that when the new rules came out and they knew that there was going to be a switch, I think they should have started a little earlier, because that's what Red Bull did. And Red Bull even caught up with Mercedes towards the end of Mercedes' dominance, and they still had the opportunity to start their own earlier. So even this season now, which is why Lewis Hamilton was saying that they should give a date for everybody to start, that people should not just start when they are able. Because if people just start when they are able, then Red Bull will still be ahead of people because they have this one on lockdown. So while people are still tweaking for these changes, they can start working on 2024. Do you understand?
Wow.
Entry rules. It's a bit crazy. So once they change rules like that, somebody will dominate. But yes, I think Mercedes should have reacted better. They didn't, and they are where they are. All right.
All right. And
Let's see.
Larry from the abroad says McLaren is back, baby. It even had the Mercedes boys gushing over how quick it was. Ferrari should take a cue from McLaren on race strategy. Putting their drivers on hard tires, even though the soft was initially faster, was great strategy. They didn't ask Lando, do you want soft or hard?
Thank you,
Kudos to
Larry.
Williams for their upgrades as well.
Larry from the abroad has it longer. See, those Ferrari drivers are suffering under Pontius Pilate, real suffering, because they are driving and they are now helping the engineers on the pit wall to be making strategy. Is that my job? If I'm making strategy, why am I driving? So, but let's switch roles. Let's just switch roles. All right, so let's go into the very next story before we talk about what Tile says. Yeah.
All right, don't forget it's 0809 444 981. Now, Nigeria will not boycott its opening game of the FIFA Women's World Cup against Canada, and this is according to Onojiafe, who is the captain of the Super Falcons.
Yeah, so in the Twitter, she came out and made a Twitter video saying that, we didn't say anything. Where are people getting these stories from? So let me tell you for free. You see, when you want to do something like this, don't talk too much. And that's the problem. People, so these footballers talk to too many people. Um, when I first heard that they were not going to pay them, other people hadn't heard this. And I cannot say where I heard it from, but other people hadn't heard this. When I first heard that they were going to boycott, a lot of journalists hadn't heard it. But too many people talking about these things, players talking to their friends, and that now became gist for journalists. And a lot of journalists want to be the first to break news.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, they broke the news a bit too early. Of course, they'll come out and deny that they never planned to do it, because now they're playing for a country. They can decide, you know what, if we don't want to play, Abby, we'll bring another 23 players to come and replace you, like we did South Africa. So it was. So the problem is, they wanted to do something. They wanted to make a statement, and too much people had knowledge of the statement they wanted to make, and so the sabotage was easy. Learn discretion. See, if they did it the way they wanted to initially do it, like, we'll go for training, we'll do like everything is hunky-dory, then when it's time for the game, all of us now come out and say, you know what, we are not playing because this bonus and that bonus is being withheld. It would have worked. But now, too many people know about it. Then journalists started writing about it all over social media. Of course, the NFF had to react. They too started calling their own people, because on a team they have NFF babies. So they too started calling their NFF babies and saying, "What are we hearing that people want to do in camp?" So this thing now became small. So she can claim now that, they never planned to boycott it, but that's not true. I can categorically say anywhere that there was a plan for something to happen.
Wow. So at this point,
it's
out of the bag.
Too many. So don't talk. That's when you want. How they say it in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. When you want to shoot, don't talk. That's it.
Lesson learned.
All right.
Okay, on to the next story. Mbappe has described his club PSG as a divisive team, and this is coming amid a contract standoff between the player and the French Ligue 1 champion.
All right. So this one is now getting a little more messy. What will upset me if at the end of the day they will now sit down and money will now decide this problem? That's the one that will pain me, because me, I like this fight. So what it is, Mbappe is saying that the team is already divisive. That's why they don't really go out to win. It's not a question necessarily of just players. It's even the people that are making the decisions, the people that form the team, and all of that. So he's actually pointing fingers at the PSG board. At this point in time, I'm just saying, PSG board, just have some cojones, since it's morning radio, and sell this boy to the highest bidder. There's no need for you to say you have money to. Don't give him ultimatum again. Let him wake up one morning and see that somebody has bought his contract, and because it's a business, there's nothing you can do about it. And it's ridiculous, the power that this boy has. He's saying this nonsense, and he's all the way enjoying himself in Cameroon with his daddy, and then he'll come back, he'll still collect your money and still collect the accolades. And there's nothing you can do. This is what he did the last time out before they increased his money. So at this point in time, I think PSG should just end this love relationship. I thought at some point, seeing the way they've been going into market to buy the players that they're buying, players between the ages of 22 and 26. So they're trying to build a team. They're building that midfield, which is something I thought they should have done from the start. When you had Lionel Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe, you needed a more solid midfield and a more solid defense to be able to challenge for anything. That team was top heavy, and that's why it was easily beatable. So it's something they should have done since, but they've decided to do it now. So they're getting a lot of midfielders. They're actually building a team. If you're going to build a team and this guy is going to give you problems in the locker room, please sell him. He's talented, but he must not be worth this drama. Please.
Okay, let's go on to Manchester United. Now, David De Gea has left Manchester United. Following the end of his contract, the Spanish goalkeeper penned a farewell message to the club's fans on Saturday, this coming 12 seasons at the Old Trafford.
Yes, so tough one. Like I said, they were telling him that he's still their wife, and they were carrying wine to Onana's house. So it was before it got a little messy. I like the way he dealt with it. Very classy. Just decided, my contract is up. I'm not going to be going back and forth. I'm just going to move on with my life. Where he's going to go for now, there are a couple of places, rumors, but nothing solid yet. He just said goodbye, penned his goodbye. No need for drama. No need to go and sit down with Piers Morgan and do a tell all. Just drop a message to the fans and leave. So I wanted to ask Manchester United fans listening now, what do you really think about this David De Gea situation? Because I understand that yes, he's given away some horrible goals, but this guy has made some brilliant saves, and regardless of what it is, he was a Manchester United player. So was his situation handled well by the club? Um, and now that he's moved on, is this a better solution for Manchester United? So send your messages to
WhatsApp number 0809 440
it's too late to open phone lines.
Oh, right, yeah, it is.
So just send those messages to again
0809 440
Tell us your thoughts. What are your thoughts on David De Gea leaving Manchester United the way he left Manchester United? All right, let's take Emeka's message.
Emeka says, congratulations to the here for an amazing career at Man United. However, the way he left after 11 years of meritorious service was quite disappointing. Man United just dumped him like an old wife to go and marry a new wife, even doing it in a very cunning way.
We didn't open the phone lines, but let's take this phone call. Hello, good morning.
It was not to
it
be.
was not to be. See why we didn't open the phone lines?
Tayo says, is Onana a holding midfielder or goalie? Because you hardly see him use his gloves. Even Valdez wasn't treated this way.
Yeah, so not a really good treatment. So we're still waiting on those messages.
You know how they treated Ferdinand as well when he was booted?
Ferdinand?
Rio Ferdinand. He didn't get that nice farewell, did he?
Yeah, but it wasn't this nasty. This one, they almost tied him like goat. You know those goat dates to give away when wives are marrying. They almost tied him. They always tied him like that. It was not nice. Okay, let's take this phone call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Tell us, what do you think about the way De Gea left Manchester United?
It wasn't nice, but at the end of the day, what can we do? I mean, different strokes for different folks. But however, the thing is, he has moved on. Let him just relish the good moments or the good times he had with Man U, and try to focus on his new club and all of that. I mean, every relationship must come to an end at some point. Change is a constant. So for me, he wasn't well treated, but at the end of the day, he just has to move on and let go. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that's it. It has happened. He just has to move on. Let's take this message from Ayo from Festac.
Aya says, Mbappe is a spoiled guy. Today it's PSG. Tomorrow he will insult Cameroon, that's giving him temporary asylum now that it denied him opportunity to represent the West African country in the past. Okay.
I don't want to say they denied him opportunity to represent the West African country. He has one World Cup with France.
Yeah, he's good.
It was, let's take this one phone call before we close. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and your location, please. Okay, Buku, tell us, what do you think about De Gea leaving Manchester United the way he did?
Great servant. I mean, he should have got a better sense for off if they're going to send him off. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, people talk about the awful howlers that he made, but in the season that he made those awful howlers, he was still the best goalkeeper in the league and broke records for appearances and all that. Unfortunately, you know how the press is. You make one error and the goalkeeper, your errors are more highlighted than anyone else. I think the real problem has to do with the fact that he wasn't ready to be number 2 and they wanted to bring in Onana. So, well, I wish him all the best. Really a great top player.
All right, thank you so much. And that's all the phone calls we can take. Can we wrap up with a few messages here?
Sure. Chimobi Victor says, good morning. Truth be told, PSG should listen to the voice of reason by selling Kylian Mbappe before it's too late. I'll advise them to sell him to Saudi Arabia. While for Manchester United, I'm not happy the way they treated De Gea at all. I hope it won't take them 25 years before winning any trophy again. And another message from
Aya from Festac. He says,
David De Gea should have been treated the way City treated Joe Hart.
Ayo, you're even worse than everybody. All right, on that note, we'll ban Ayo for this month. We'll see him again on Wednesday. On that note, let's call it a day because we are so far out of time. Zibby, what do you have for us at 9 o'clock?
Lagos Talks, we're talking about youth getting involved in the security situation in Nigeria. You don't want to miss that conversation. We have special guests coming through as well. But thanks for being here on The Locker Room. Do stay with us. There's a lot more to come on The Smooth Breakfast. Why are you so